dream last night that I had a DeLorean time machine. I was at some exotic locale and it looked incredible. Had the hat, the jacket, the hoverboard. But then I woke up.
Down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Whoa, we shall align. Yeah, they're loaded like a freight train, flying like an aeroplane, speeding like a space brain. One more time tonight. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Welcome to the jungle. Watch it bring you to your knees. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? I wanna go. I wanna know. Oh, won't you please take me home?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D-18 Studios Channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today is a very special day. Today is a double feature day, and in two separate installments, we're going to be taking a look at 1991 and 1994's respectively, My Girl and My Girl 2. Up first today, of course, is going to be the original 1991 installment, My Girl, starring Anna Chlumaky, Macaulay Culkin, Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis, Richard Masur, and Griffin Dunne. And today's show is also going to be broadcast in replay form on the Jeff Meacham Network. Thank you very much to Mr. Meacham for allowing us that. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. Like I said during the introduction, today's show is a special double feature day, going to be broadcast here on the Casa D-18 Studios Channel, as well as later on in the day being rebroadcast on the Jeff Meacham Network, as we do on the Fridays over there where there's not a dad's, not always on wrestling. Thank you very much in advance to Mr. Meacham for allowing us to come and invade the time slot and present our show over there. And this one is a special one. This one is very much a coming-of-age tale, and it holds some very sentimental feelings to me, connections to me, which we'll get into at the end of the episode today. My Girl, Anna Chlumaky, and Macaulay Culkin. Let's get right into it here, shall we? Our movie opens, and we meet 11-year-old Veda Sultanfuss, a hypochondriac that lives in Madison, Pennsylvania during the summer of '72. Her father, Harry, is a widowed funeral director who does not understand his daughter, so he constantly ignores her. Their house operates as the town funeral parlor, which has led Veda to develop an obsession with death. She regularly tends to her paternal grandmother, Gramu, who has Alzheimer's disease and whose wandering mind affects Veda. Veda's uncle, Phil, lives across town, but he frequently stops by to help out the family. Veda frequently hangs out with her best friend, Thomas J. Sennett, a stereotypical nerd, an unpopular boy her age who is allergic to everything. All of the other girls, except for one, a girl named Judy, constantly tease the two, thinking that they're more than just friends. Thomas J. often accompanies Veda when she visits the doctor, who constantly tries to assure her that she is not sick and that she doesn't have a chicken bone stuck in her throat. Veda's summer begins well as she befriends Chevy Devoto, the new makeup artist at Harry's funeral parlor, who provides her with some much-needed maternal guidance. Veda also develops a crush on her fifth grade school teacher, Mr. Bixler, and hears about an adult poetry writing class that he is going to teach during the summer. Veda steals some money from the cookie jar in Shelley's trailer in order to cover the cost of the class. And when advised to write about what is in her soul, Veda is afraid that she killed her mother, who died 2 days after giving birth to her. Soon, things begin to fall apart in her world. Harry and Shelley begin dating, and this begins to affect Veda's attitude towards Shelley. One night, Veda follows them to a bingo game and brings along Thomas J. with plans to disrupt it. On the 4th of July, when Shelley's ex-husband, Danny, shows up, Veda hopes that he is there to take Shelley back, but to no avail. Veda becomes more distressed when Harry and Shelley announce their engagement at a carnival, leading her to contemplate running away with Thomas J. Veda begins to then see changes within herself. One day, she runs around screaming that she is hemorrhaging until Shelley explains to her that her first period is completely normal. As Veda realizes that this only occurs with girls, she decides that she does not want to see Thomas J. that day, who happens to come by shortly afterwards. A couple of days later, Veda and Thomas J. are sitting under a tree by a river, where they share a very innocent first kiss. Veda and Thomas J. come across a beehive hanging from a tree, which Thomas J. decides to knock down. Veda ends up losing her mood ring in the process, so they begin looking for it. But the search is cut short as the bees begin swarming, causing them to run away and jump into the water. Thomas J. returns later by himself to find the ring, and he accidentally steps on the beehive, which is laying on the ground. Unfortunately, because he knocked down the beehive beforehand, the bees begin to swarm Thomas J. just as he finds the ring. Unable to escape, he dies from an allergic reaction to the stings. Harry is left to deliver the tragic news to Veda, which devastates her so much that she will not leave her bedroom. Shelley shows concern for Veda and tells Harry that he should try to help her feel better, but he brushes her off. As a result, Shelley tearfully tells Harry to open his eyes and stop hiding, reminding him that life isn't just death and that he should not ignore the living, especially when it's his own daughter. When Veda attends Thomas J.'s funeral, her emotions become so strong that she runs away. She rushes to Mr. Bixler's house only to discover that he is getting married to someone else. Veda then runs to Herman Thomas J.'s frequent hangout spot near the tree to reflect on what has happened. When Veda returns home, everyone is relieved, including Shelley, whom Veda begins to accept as her future stepmother. Veda's grief also manages to mend the rift between her and her father, who explains to Veda that her mother's death was never her fault, and that things like that can happen without any real explanation. The next day, Veda and her father see Thomas J.'s mother, who still struggles with her son's death. She gives Veda the mood ring back, which Thomas J. had found, and Veda gives Mrs. Sennett some comfort, telling her that her mother will watch over Thomas J. now. On the last day of writing class, Veda reads a poem that she wrote over the loss of her best friend. She then goes outside to ride bikes with Judy, the one girl who never made fun of her and Thomas J., as our credits begin to roll. I adore this coming-of-age story. It is quite possibly my favorite Macaulay Culkin film, and I came up in an era where all of his major films were like hit after hit after hit, starting with his appearance in Uncle Buck, Home Alone, this, Home Alone 2, The Good Son, The Page Master, The Nutcracker, where he played the Nutcracker Prince, Richie Rich, where he played the titular character. Just so much good stuff was going for Macaulay Culkin at the time. And it all just caught up with him. You know, he was in music videos with Michael Jackson. He was the it kid actor at the time. For everything that the Olsen twins were for the females, Macaulay was for the men, the boys. Anna Chlumaky was a tremendous young little girl actor. And I wish that she had done more while this was out and she was hot and primed. But unfortunately, she fell off. As Macaulay kept rising, she just fell off. And it's a damn shame because she was really good. She captivated me. The soundtrack to this film is just amazing. Time capsule is the perfect word to use for it. You've got so many great songs of the period featured within this film. And to this day, I still say that the scene with Veda walking in during Thomas J's funeral, seeing him in the casket where you can visibly see the bee stings on his face, and her reaction, and the fact that he's not wearing his glasses, you know, he can't see without his glasses. Where are his glasses? Thomas J, do you want to go climb a tree? The way she goes through processing it and realizing that her best friend isn't there anymore is just so gut-wrenching. And in my opinion, quite possibly the most gut-wrenching scene in all of film, because it's just so real. And part of why this film still resonates with me today is because I had a friend like Veda. You know, when me and my dad first moved to the original Casa D-18 Studios, there was a group of downstairs neighbors. It was a mother and her two daughters. The daughters were separated by about 3 years. And the older daughter was more my age. But the younger daughter was the one that I connected more with. We had more in common. And being the age I was, the fact that she was only a few years younger, we were still, you know, in the same age range, if you will. Well, we had a tremendous friendship, very much like Veda and Thomas J's. And I can't say a few years ago because it's been quite a few years ago at this point, probably close to 20 years at this point, she took her own life. You know, not quite the same way that Thomas J lost his, but she just had had enough and took her own life. And it kind of hit me the same way that it hits Veda in this film. Whenever I watch this film, I think of my relationship with her, my friendship with her, and all the good times that we had back in the days when this film was first coming out. It's just one of those films that resonates with me on other levels, aside from it being just a great coming of age story. When it comes to my rating of My Girl, you should know by now I'm giving this one 5 out of 5. I cannot knock this down for any reason. Any reason. I just adore this film. What do you guys think out there? Those of you that have seen My Girl, do you enjoy it? Let me know. If you're watching along with the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching along on demand, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Whatever you do, though, when you get out there on social media, let's try to get those hashtags trending. Hashtag Casa D-18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, hashtag Jeff Meacham Network, and of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D-18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag Statboy Approved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you guys get out there. Do what that commercial just told you. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network. All the official merchandise of the Casa D-18 Studios Brotherhood. Get you your Renegade JJ Williams shirt, Dad's Not Always on Wrestling, Statboy Sports Bar, hashtag Statboy Approved, hashtag Shenanigans. Get you your official merchandise for the Jeff Meacham Network. 3 different designs of the Jeff Meacham Network logo for you to choose from, along with Talk Wrestling, Meachamania, so much more. It's still summertime. You've still got some time for those pool parties, barbecues, beach bonfires. Go to the Teespring store. Get yourself a tank top. You can choose from the Renegade JJ Williams or Meachamania. Either one is the perfect accessory for those hot summer days and those hotter summer nights. Get out there, show your love and support. While you're showing your love and support, do what that ticker tells you to do. Do you enjoy my content, my daily videos? If so, go to that PayPal. Send me a few bucks as a donation. Keep in mind, everybody, I'm still not monetized. Trying to get those viewership hours up. So the only way right now I'm going to make any money is if you guys out there go to that PayPal link and send me a few bucks as a donation. You don't want to send me cash or any money, that's fine. Keep in mind, this month is my birthday month. Go to the Linktree link that scrolls along the bottom of the screen there. Click on the link for my Amazon movie wish list. Pick a movie. I'm constantly adding movies, updating the list. Select one. When it comes, I'll open it live on Renegade Recap. Give you guys a shout out. Likewise, when I work it into one of my theme months and can sit down, watch it, review it, I'll give you guys another shout out. And I'll show you guys the same amount of love and support that you guys show to me. Make sure you tune back in here at the top of the half hour when we continue our double feature day of My Girl and My Girl 2 with 1994's My Girl 2, starring Anna Chlumaky, Austin O'Brien, Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis, Richard Masur, Ben Stein, Christine Ebersol, John David Souther, and Angeline Ball. You're not going to want to miss out right here in a few minutes when we bring you the second half of the double feature on the Casa D-18 Studios channel, as well as the Jeff Meacham Network. All my loyal fans and viewers out there tuning in for the premiere, watching along, leaving your thoughts and comments over here. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Likewise, all my fans out there, tune in a little bit later in the day, watching on demand, leaving your thoughts and comments down here. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all my loyal fans and viewers out there that tune in on a daily, enjoy my content, support me. Thank you very much for watching along. I will see you guys next time.
I had a dream last night that I had a DeLorean time machine. I was at some exotic locale and it looked incredible. Had the hat, the jacket, the hoverboard. But then I woke up.
Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Whoa, we shall align. Yeah, they're loaded like a freight train, flying like an aeroplane, speeding like a space brain. One more time tonight. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Welcome to the jungle. Watch it bring you to your knees. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? I wanna go. I wanna know. Oh, won't you please take me home?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D-18 Studios Channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade J.J. Williams, and today we're going to finish up the double feature of My Girl and My Girl 2 with the 1994 sequel installment, My Girl 2, starring Anna Chlumaky, Austin O'Brien, Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis, Richard Masur, Ben Stein, Christine Ebersol, John David Souther, and Angeline Ball. Today's episode is also being featured on the JEFF MEACHAM Network. Thank you very much, Mr. Meacham, for allowing us to invade the channel like we do on the Non-Dads on Wrestling Weeks. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. Like I said during the opening, today we're going to bring you the second half of our double feature, My Girl and My Girl 2. And this time we're talking about the sequel, My Girl 2. And it's the summer of '74, nearly 2 years after the events of the first film. Veda's father, Harry, and his new wife, Shelley, who dated during the course of the first film and eventually married, are now expecting their first baby together. They still live in the Sultan Fuss funeral parlor in Madison, Pennsylvania, while Harry's brother, Phil, has moved to Los Angeles, where he now works as a mechanic. Veda's paternal grandmother, Grandmu, has since died, and Veda still has her mood ring from 2 years earlier and continues to wear it in memory of her late best friend, Thomas J., who had died from an allergic reaction to bee stings, inflicted while retrieving the ring for her after she had lost it. In order to accommodate the new baby, Veda moves out of her bedroom and into Grandmu's old room, and it brings further problems with adjustment. Veda even jokingly thinks about getting her own apartment while spending a night out with her father. When Veda's class is given a school assignment to write an essay on someone that they admire but have never met, Veda decides to write about her late mother, Maggie, but has very few sources to go on. Harry tries to help, but because his marriage lasted less than a year before Maggie died, his efforts are stifled. Shelley is adamant about keeping Maggie's memory alive in Veda's life, and she does her best to help as well. Veda shares what little she knows about her mother, which is confined to a small box. Among its contents are programs of plays that her mother was in, a passport, and a mystery paper bag with a date scribbled on it. Veda expresses her desire to travel someday, and after noticing from Maggie's passport that she was originally from Los Angeles, Shelley concocts a plan for Veda to go to LA to visit her Uncle Phil during her upcoming spring break, so she can do some research on her mother. Harry immediately opposes the idea, claiming that Veda is much too young and fears what might happen to her in LA. However, he ultimately gives in and allows Veda to take the 5-day trip. Upon arriving in LA, Veda finds herself confronting a boy her age named Nick, who comes to pick her up at the airport instead of her Uncle Phil. Nick is the son of Phil's girlfriend, Rose, the owner of the car repair shop where Phil works. As a favor to Phil, though annoyed at first about sacrificing his own spring break, Nick helps Veda with the difficult search, learning more about her mother. The investigation is stalled when Veda learns that her mother's old high school burned down, but she and Nick still manage to track down a yearbook from a year when her mother attended. Veda and Nick begin to meet several people who knew her mother, and some of the things that she finds out don't sit well with her, such as her mother being suspended from school for smoking. Two of these acquaintances have a look at the paper bag from Veda's small box of memories, but neither one can decipher what it means. When another blurts out the name Jeffrey Pomeroy, revealing that Maggie was married to him just prior to meeting Harry, Veda panics, thinking that he could be Veda's real father instead of Harry. Veda is crushed and wonders why her father never mentioned this person. Eventually, though, with some hesitation, Veda goes to see Jeffrey, her mother's first husband. He is able to provide Veda with some valuable information to help her with her essay, including home movies and the answer behind the date written on the paper bag. The paper bag had held warm chestnuts, and the date was the date of her marriage to Jeffrey Pomeroy. Seeing the home movies touches Veda as she watches her mother act, as well as sing a song called Smile. Jeffrey also reassures Veda that although he would love the idea of being a father to her, the so-called relationship is deemed not to be true, proving that Harry is in fact her true father after all. Meanwhile, Phil has trouble proving his love to Rose after a man frequently shows up at the repair shop and continuously flatters her. When Phil finally gets the courage to show Rose what she means to him, he proposes to her. And as Veda is ready to head home, she and Nick share a goodbye kiss at the airport before she boards the plane. In her backpack, she finds earrings that Nick placed there for her newly pierced ears, despite Nick himself being against the barbaric custom. When Veda returns home, she realizes that Shelley just had a baby boy, and she heads to the hospital to see her new brother. In order to calm his crying, Veda sings Smile while holding him. Veda's essay on her mother receives an A+, and she hopes to share what she learned during her trip with her brother someday. This one is very, very sweet. Don't get me wrong. But it's just not as good, in my opinion, as the original. What made the original so good for me was the chemistry between Macaulay and Anna. And although Austin O'Brien and Anna did have some chemistry, it didn't seem to fire on all cylinders like it did in the first film between Veda and Thomas J., Anna and Macaulay. There was just something so cute and innocent between their friendship that it just seemed to be that much better. Austin O'Brien was writing the success of Last Action Hero, which had come out prior to this. And it's kind of how he got this role. But other than those two films, I can't really tell you anything else that he's done. You know, I haven't even looked him up lately to see if maybe he did something else a few years down the road that I actually have seen and just didn't even realize he was in it. But this one just really falls flat for me. I do enjoy the search for information about Veda's mother. That aspect of the film I do enjoy because you don't find out a whole lot about her in the first film. All we know is that Veda feels that she killed her. So getting to dive a little bit deeper into who Veda's mother was, Maggie, what she did before Harry, and the type of person she was, I did enjoy that aspect of it. But the romance side of it between Nick and Veda, Austin O'Brien and Anna Chlumaky, just didn't resonate to me the way it did over here when it was Thomas J. and Veda, Macaulay Culkin and Anna Chlumaky. What do you guys think out there? Do you guys agree with me? If so, let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your comments over here. If you're watching on demand, leave your comments down here. When it comes to my rating of this one, though, and it's going to seem like it's a huge drop, but I give this one 3 out of 5. This is a sequel that I really don't think needed to be made. And even though I did enjoy the digging up the history of Veda's mother plot, all in all, it was just a film that I really don't think we needed. Do you agree with me? Again, if you do, you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Whatever you do, though, when you get out there on social media, let's get those hashtags trending. Hashtag Casa D-18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, hashtag Jeff Meacham Network, and of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
Merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D-18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade J.J. Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag Statboy Approved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you guys get out there. Do what that commercial just told you. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network. All the official merchandise of the Casa D-18 Studios Brotherhood. Get you your Renegade J.J. Williams shirt. Dad's Not Always on Wrestling. Statboy Sports Bar. Hashtag Statboy Approved. Hashtag Shenanigans. Get you your official merchandise of the Jeff Meacham Network. 3 different designs of the Jeff Meacham Network logo for you to choose, along with Talk Wrestling, Meachamania, so much more. Still summertime. You still got plenty of time for those pool parties, barbecues, beach bonfires. Go to the Teespring store. Get yourself a tank top. You can choose from the Renegade J.J. Williams or Meachamania. Either one's the perfect accessory for those hot summer days and those even hotter summer nights. Get out there, show your love and support. While you're showing your love and support, do what that ticker tells you to do. Do you enjoy my content, my daily videos? If so, go to that PayPal. Send me a few bucks as a donation. Keep in mind, I'm still not monetized yet. Trying to get my viewership hours up. Until then, the only way I can make a few bucks is if you guys out there go to the PayPal link and send me a few bucks as a donation. You don't want to send any money? That's all right. I understand. It's still August. It's still my birthday month. Go to the Linktree link that scrolls along the bottom of the screen. Click on the link for my Amazon movie wish list. I'm constantly adding new movies to it. Go to that Linktree. Pick a movie out. When it comes, I'll open it up on Renegade Recap, give you guys a shout out. Likewise, when I factor it into one of my theme months, can sit down, watch it, review it, I'll give you guys another shout out. And I'll show you guys the same amount of love and respect that you guys show to me. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D-18 Studios channel, for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, when we go to 1995 and we take a look at Casino, starring Robert De Niro, Sharon Stone, Joe Pesci, James Woods, Don Rickles, Kevin Pollak, Dick Smothers, as well as Frankie Avalon, Jane Meadows, and Steve Allen as themselves. You're not going to want to miss out tomorrow, right back here on Renegades Reviews, right back here on the Casa D-18 Studios channel, when I bring you Casino. Another movie that I really, really love. Probably my all-time favorite gambling movie. I know it's a favorite of Stat Boys as well. Don't forget to tune in to that tomorrow. To all my loyal fans and viewers out there tuned in for the premiere, watching along, leaving your thoughts and comments over here, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Likewise, to all my loyal fans and viewers out there tuning in a little bit later in the day, watching on demand, leaving your thoughts and comments down here, thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all my loyal fans and viewers out there that tune in on a daily basis, show me that love and support. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.